Hello, everyone, and welcome to the episode of the BD Show. I'm here to do a review of NOSFERATU, the new movie that just came out. I saw it on Christmas Day. The remake of one of the first movies ever made 102 years ago, the original NOSFERATU of 1922. So I'm just going to get right into it, non-spoiler thoughts first. And this is a little bit of a conflicting review for me, although I think an important review because, when I started this channel, I wanted to give my unbiased opinion, but I also didn't, I also wanted to give, multi-layered reviews. So, on the one hand, I think this is a very well-made movie. I think if you're a fan of horror, if you're a fan of Dracula-type movies, of vampire-type movies, if you saw the trailer and you liked the trailer, I think you're really going to like this movie. I thought it was really well done. That being said, it wasn't a movie for me. So I'm kind of making the discernment, although I didn't like it as much, I don't want people to not go and see it because I think a lot of people are going to have a different opinion than me. And so I think it's just important to say that. A lot of times when I have a negative opinion, I just straight up think it's a bad movie. But this is one of the one of the rare cases where I see a movie and I think the movie's really, really good. I just personally don't like it. And it's really not because of, it's scary or the horror elements. I like horror movies. I'd say I probably like more like the slasher, Halloween, Scream, the Friday the 13th movies more so than like the ghost kind of spooky kind of horror, like Annabelle and all those types of movies. But that being said, I was excited for this movie. I thought most of the acting was good, but not all of it, which I'll get into. Lily Rose Depp is the main character, and Nicholas Hoult, who will be our Lex Luthor in Superman coming out in July, and Lily Rose Depp, who of course is the daughter of Johnny Depp. I thought she did a really good job. I honestly didn't even realize it was the daughter of Johnny Depp till like halfway through the movie, and then I remember reading that. So I don't think it's a case of nepotism. I mean, I'm sure she got the role or was exposed to the role because of, who she was originally. I'm sure that's how she got her break. But if you didn't know that she was the daughter of an actress, I don't think you would assume. I thought she was one of the better actors in the film. Nicholas Hoult was good. He always seems to be going through these tough situations in movies. I don't know. I guess Superman will be different, but Nicholas Hoult always seems to be going through some sort of chaos or just some sort of tough situation. But he did a good job. The one person I didn't think do a good job, and this is where it gets a little bit wonky, is Aaron Taylor Johnson, who he's had a really good year. He's had this movie. He was in The Fall Guy, which I just watched. I'll do a review of that. He was also in Craven. So 3 pretty big movies of obviously different genres. Even though Craven was obviously a worse movie than this movie, I thought he was weirdly bad. He did a better job acting in that movie than in this movie, which is doubly weird because he's British and he's using his regular British accent in this movie. And in Craven, and even like I saw him in Bullet Train, he's using an American accent. And so I don't know if like using an American accent actually makes him a better actor because by using an accent, he's like more in the mode of acting. But I thought a lot of his dialogue almost seemed like satire, like him and Nicholas Hoult. Maybe just because they're friends in real life, like they're around the same age, they're both British. So maybe just like the fact that they were actually friends making a scene. But a lot of the scenes seemed so, it really seemed like satire a lot of times. It almost seemed funny. It almost seemed like they were joking when they weren't supposed to be joking. Particularly there was this one scene in the cemetery, which I just didn't. The lines just weren't landing for me. It was very bizarre. And I think he's a really good actor. I think he's going to be James Bond. So, that was surprising. The best part of the movie for me was Willem Dafoe. I think for me, the plot of the movie was there. I think they should have just reworked it. I rewatched some of the original movie. I didn't end up finishing it. It's on Prime. It's obviously a silent film. But I guess you can try watching it. But I think they stayed very original to the script. I would have had Willem Dafoe been the main character and would have had Willem Dafoe, without spoiling it, have it more be like a vampire hunter type movie and more of a mystery type movie rather than have like this romance, which I know is the original plot. But I think Willem Dafoe, his scenes were the best part of the scenes and were the best parts of the movie. And then we go to these other parts with the other characters and I would just get sucked out of it. I didn't feel as emotionally connected to this movie. It was one of those movies where you're kind of watching it. For me, I know this is really well made. Everyone's doing a good job. But I just wasn't, I don't know if it was the pacing. I just felt a lot of scenes were repetitive. It got grating at times. And so that was it for me. And then obviously talking about Bill Skarsgård, who plays the Count, who is the vampire in this movie, who was pretty much, this is his thing now. I mean, obviously he was Pennywise. He was even like the CGI villain in The Eternal, so he seems to be doing a lot of these roles. And yeah, I mean, I don't know how many more, even though he does a great job, I don't know how much more of this he wants to do. It almost seems like he's turning into like the Andy Serkis Gollum, but for his whole career. And so if I was him, I would kind of venture out into doing some roles where he doesn't have any makeup on. Yeah, because I think he can have a good career. And so, yeah, I think this is, it's just such a weird review to do because I think this is one of the better made movies of 2024, but just not the movie for me. I liked a lot of parts of it, but it was just too slow at times. I don't need to be entertained 24/7. It's not like a TikTok brand thing. But like I said, I think a lot of people are really going to like this movie. I think a lot of people have this in their top 10 of the year. And so if you, like I said, if you're a fan of horror, if you're a fan of Dracula, if you're a fan of really anything kind of scary, I would go see this movie. I think it's worth it. It's about 2 hours and 12 minutes, so it's a little bit long. I would have chopped it down a little bit, but still a good movie nonetheless. That's my non-spoiler review for NOSFERATU. I'm sure a lot of people are going to disagree, but feel free to debate in the comments. Thanks, guys, for watching, and I'll see you at the movies.